And welcome back, everyone. It's lovely to see you all again. And let's begin by going straight into the superpower state. So take a deep breath and either close your eyes or leave them open, whichever you prefer. And go into your superpower state, however you normally do that. So by repeating a word or phrase, using your anchor, or by focusing in on everything you love about your subject. Very good. And now feel your heart start to expand, that opening feeling in your chest, that beautiful bright light or energy shining out from your heart, filled with all the love and appreciation you have for your subject. Very good. And now allow that light or energy to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now filled with that light, that energy, that love. Very good. And now allow that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each cell just for existing. Good job. And now allow that light or energy to fill the little you, yourself as a child, any age. Love that little you just for existing. Good job. And now allow that light or energy to overflow from that little you and fill your whole childhood. Everything, everyone, every experience, every event, every circumstance, no matter what, shining that light into any darkness there may be, loving it all exactly as it is and feeling that power as you do that. And surge. Very good. And surge again. Good job. And now allow that light or energy to fill everyone in the group today. Everybody who's on camera, everyone who's off camera. Love each one just for existing. Very good. Good job. All right, you can open your eyes if you had them closed. And I actually want to start today by addressing something that I forgot to include yesterday. So I'm going to answer this one first, and then I'll come around and check in with each person. So this is an email I received from Chris yesterday, and I forgot to, because it was by email, I forgot to include it. So she says, greetings, dear friends. I caught myself in mental chatter mode today, saying something like, well, none of my children eat properly, and caught mum's voice and laughed. One of the current projects is working on that aspect of internal self-talk, and I know it has come up a few times on these Zoom sessions. Here are some more of those little default phrases I have caught myself saying over the last few days. I can't be bothered. Tutting, example, when washing up, water splashed on my clothes or I dropped something. The trouble is blank. Every time I do that, this happens. Example, I miss a day of headspace because I'm traveling home from holiday and lose my run score. This suggests feelings of 1, it's not worth it, and 2, it always happens to me. 3, frustrated and fed up, victimhood. But this is not the case. As it's no longer how I truly feel. There are learned and habitual habits and patterns. So what I've been doing when I catch myself is 1, laugh to remove any tension and guilt. 2, say thank you and or I love my life. And 4, put them in a treasure chest of old feelings. At some point, I'd like to do the deeper work because this is a part of me I now want to love, release, and let go. Any suggestions and starting points, please? I ask this as perhaps it's of use to us all. Love and thanks, Chris. So I think it is an excellent one because, I think most of us have at least had those experiences, if not have them right now. So that feeling of, so whatever it is for you, that automatic voice, that self-talk that says typical, or there it goes again, or I always do this, or this is to be expected, that kind of feeling. This always happens to me. And as she says, the victim, that represents a victim mentality. Even if you don't consciously have a victim mentality, it's unconscious because those programs are still running on automatic. So I think what those steps that Chris is taking, so Chris, I think the steps you're taking are excellent. So laughing, so to remove any tension and guilt, saying thank you and I love my life is excellent. And then putting them in the treasure chest of old feelings, you can do that. What I would suggest is now using Steve's new technique. So instead of putting them in the treasure chest of old feelings, allow them. We still need to come up with a name for this technique, but notice that feeling, for example, of it's not worth it, or it always happens to me, and allow it to be there without resisting it, without pushing it away, but pulling back and observing it. So you're not taking part in it, you're not soaking in it, you're just allowing it as if it's a child that's crying, and you're just going to allow them to express themselves. So you're going to allow that feeling to express itself without playing with it, without engaging. And so you notice it, and oh, that's right, Steve was talking about the 2 sides of the coin. So we're thinking of it being called something like flip the coin technique or something like that. So you've got let's say it's not worth it on one side of the coin. That's what you're seeing right now. On the other side of the coin is the opposite of that. So whatever the opposite is for you. So it might be it's more than worth it, or it's always worth it, or something like that, or I'm always worth it, whatever that is. And so when you push away, like Steve was explaining, when you push away it's not worth it, you're also pushing away the other side of the coin, which is the opposite. So if you allow it to be there, and then it has the chance to transform, to turn around, to flip to the opposite. So, and of course, we're using that in conjunction with the superpower and changing childhood memories. It's just another way of allowing you to end up living from that state of unconditional love and to change those references. So for me, when I allow the feeling to be there, I automatically go into the state of unconditional love. So then I'm loving the feeling exactly as it is, without needing it to change, without needing it to go away. And that, of course, immediately changes the state anyway. So the feeling changes. So I hope that that helps. And I hope it's clear. But if not, if anyone needs more clarification on that, of course, let me know. So, so I think that laughing in the first instance to take away that tension and guilt, I think that's great. Saying thank you or I love my life, preferably both. Thank you, I love my life, perfect. And then allow the feeling and allow it to transform and allow yourself to feel that love for that feeling exactly as it is without needing it to change. So hopefully that helps, Chris, but if not, let us know. All right, so let's go on and check in with each person. Lisa, you're first up on my screen. How are you today?
Oh, good. It's Wave Your Wand Wednesday.
Yay!
Yeah, I've been having some feelings that come up about a year ago. 5 years ago, my father died, and so a year ago, my even though I was doing your course and everything, it was like amazing. I got amazing results.
Oh,
Very good, very good. But my this has to do with my brother and the estate. And so what he did was he knew that I couldn't go up to Northern California because I have my son. He's severely disabled.
yes.
And so he was supposed to give me a certain amount of money, but he's still withholding that and he's keeping it. So it's created like those feelings are surfacing today because it's been like a year ago. And I
Wow.
was like, where's this coming from? Why are these surfacing? But I was like, nothing triggered it. It just because of I was thinking, what is it? What is it? Because the date alone triggered it. So I think
Right.
that's interesting. And I
Mhm.
didn't even think about it. It's like, what is going on? So your body knows, or you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Your subconscious knows the anniversaries of things.
Yeah, it's so
So,
interesting.
yes. And so is this the date your dad died or the date that you were supposed to
But
have received the money?
yeah, the date the
The second
not
one.
my dad, yeah, the second
Okay.
one.
Oh, yes, you were saying your dad died 5 years ago. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
a year ago. So yes, and because I've had other people say that they started to feel something, not they were feeling triggered or they had physical pain sometimes. So there was
Mhm.
someone I knew who had their back suddenly started hurting for no reason, and they couldn't figure out why. And it was a year ago or 2 years ago or something since they had an automobile accident and
Mhm.
injured their back. And exactly a year or 2 years, whatever it was, to the date, their back started hurting again. And once they realized that and they changed the memory of the accident, the pain went away.
Mhm.
So it is interesting. And sometimes people start to feel melancholy or sad or a feeling of loss or something, and it works out it's an anniversary of a loss of someone or a change of, like a divorce or a move or something. So
Mhm.
that is exactly how it works. So now let's look at it. So a year ago, you asked for, or this was you were supposed to have received this. Is that right?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. And what happened on that day?
Well, okay, so uh my my brother, okay, so there was a house that well, we worked all together in a business a long time ago. And then um my dad got remarried and then there was someone else involved with it. But my brother didn't want to tell me that the house was even selling, but he got busted. Like, because I mean, everything happened where I found out. But I didn't like make it a big deal or anything. I just was really relaxed about it because that's not my nature to be mean about things. So to me, it was like, oh, okay. But it was just like really weird. I didn't understand why a sibling would do that. So because I was always got along with him, but he has a wife that's kind of difficult. So
Okay. Oh,
so then what was interesting was um, when everything was said and done, he still didn't want to tell me. He was really angry that I found out. And I
ah,
thought that was like, okay, this is bizarre because my parents put it in my name. It was like equal, equal. But
right.
he goes, wait a minute, I need more because yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was just a weird thing. But anyway, so it left me feeling kind of like, wow, I didn't think that he was feeling like that. So I
Right.
don't know. It was really strange. But anyway, so um, to get an attorney would cost more than what I would. So to me, it wasn't even worth like, okay, whatever. But then I still have those feelings coming up, and
Yes.
then it's like I saw him in a generous mode, and a little kid stayed, and sending love, and then but today it's coming up, so I need to work on it. And so
Good.
I'm sure a lot of people have, similar situations, especially with after somebody passes away.
Yes.
So I hope this helps somebody else too.
It absolutely will. But even if it only helped you, it would be well worth doing.
Yeah.
So so that's what happened then. So that's how it was left. Is that right? That you just let it go, kind of thing.
Yeah, I let it go because I didn't want to cause a conflict.
Right. Okay. So now so let me just actually sidestep there for a moment. What's wrong with causing a conflict?
Well, they get abusive and bullied me a lot. So it was just like, that's what I did. It was like, I don't, and the energy towards me wasn't even worth the time because it was too dark.
Okay. So this is such a great example because there are others I know who have a similar feeling, and I've had it in the past myself, where your mode of protection, the way you protect yourself, is to go, well, it doesn't matter. It's not worth bothering. It's not worth it. It's I can't be bothered with that kind of thing. I'm not gonna. But what that is not truly letting go. What that is a coping skill and a way of protecting yourself. So it's okay because it's better than going through the suffering and the engaging in the conflict. But it's not, of course, as you've realized, it's not enough. It doesn't solve the problem. So now let's look at that feeling that you had when you found out what he did and what his attitude and whatever that was, his reaction. What was the feeling behind when that you felt when that happened?
Well, he yelled at me over the phone and said I didn't deserve anything. So that was,
okay. Wow.
And he always felt that because he got in trouble for, not telling me, because the title company called me and said, that your brother's withholding funds, he shouldn't be doing it. It's illegal. Wow. And I was like, okay, And I was in real estate for many years, so I knew the title company people. And right. So, so when he said that and he yelled it at me, I thought, wow, that's weird, because I worked really hard with my dad for many years on, it was the wine industry. So to me, it was like, why does he acting that way? So it was just like, the thing about not deserving really hit me. Good. So that's what.
So the not deserving, very good.
Yeah, because I feel it in my solar plexus right now.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, okay, that's it.
That's a good job, Lisa. Very, very good. So that now, is this the brother that was sent, that you were supposed to be watching when you were so tiny and went to hospital with the key, I think?
Yes. Yes.
So there we go. All right. So let's look at that. So when he said you don't deserve it, what thoughts and feelings went through your mind?
It was like, I didn't understand because I was always so nice to him,
There you go.
And
so that feeling, any similarity to the feeling when you were blamed for when he fell, and you were put in that position. Any similarity there? You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Good job, Lisa. Very, very good, sweetheart. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And this could have happened with anyone. You could have recreated this situation, and maybe you have. We don't know if that's been recreated in other situations, but the fact that it's with him especially is significant. The fact that it's him that's in this, that's playing this role and telling you don't deserve. That's going to have extra meaning to yourself.
So this is really good, because now I realize that he carried that from subconsciously, like we were talking about, so deeply that he's like, oh, well, you tried to kill me, he thought. And so you don't deserve anything. That's his mentality. And I'm like, where did that come from? So, because I was always very nice to him no matter what,
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, okay.
So that's what it is. Now, we can't do anything about him, of course, what he thinks and that, but what we can do is completely change your experience so that it's not affecting you. And so that you are able to allow other things in your life, because here's what I suspect, that piece, whatever's left there of not deserving, is also blocking other abundance in your life.
Because when I was talking to you, all this energy just now was just like right here, and then went poof. That makes sense. Like it went shoo. That was probably what it was, but it was like churn. It was churning really. I saw light. I didn't see darkness, but I saw, because of what we've been doing, that it turned into light. So that's a good thing. So I feel it's like, I feel like okay.
Oh, good. Oh, Lisa, I'm so proud of you and so excited.
Thanks.
Well done, sweetheart. And here's the thing, because that piece of you did something and you didn't, we know it wasn't deliberate. We know you didn't do it and all of that. But that piece that your subconscious grabbed, because it was such an intense experience. And when we're children, the adults are the ones who know. We don't know anything. So we take what they say as the truth. Is subconsciously, even if we consciously know it's not right, the subconscious is designed to take what the adults say and do as the truth, because that's how we grow and that's how we learn to be in the world. So the fact is that your subconscious has got that piece of proof that you are not worthy. So no matter what you do consciously, if you may consciously understand, believe that you do deserve, you are worthy, and believe in love and all that, but that piece will be affecting other areas of your life. So this is just wonderful, because now we can change it.
Yeah, that's good. So I just keep sending love to that whole thing, and just flip the memories also.
Well, yes, absolutely. So let's start with when you think of that incident. So let's just clean up some stuff first, see if there's anything that needs cleaning up. So when you think of the incident with your brother and the key, it was a key, was it?
Yeah, it's some key to a toy that was really long, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever that was when he fell in that, what's there when you think of it now?
It's pretty good now, because I did a lot of work around it. So I don't feel that, like,
so the new memory.
Yeah. It's
okay,
good.
so you've got the new memory, and now anything left of the old memory, and it may be something innocuous. It may be something that doesn't seem to be important, but anything left of the old memory, and it could be something visual, a sound, an expression on a face, a feeling, could be anything left.
Well, what surfaced when you were talking was when my dad came, the highway patrol brought him from his work, and I saw his face, and I was like, why did they bring the cops here? And I was so little, I was only 6, and I was like, why is he in a police car? Because I was like, wow, okay, I didn't think it was that serious, but you know what I mean? But so it was just weird. It was just a weird thing.
So that's still there, the police car arriving?
Yeah, that came up.
Okay, good. So now what we want to change it to is your dad. Your dad brought the police for you to have a ride, for you and your brother to have a ride in the police car.
Okay.
So the police is this friend of his, who they were, he was out with them, and he said, oh, you know what, my kids would love to have a go riding in the police car with the siren going, or something like that. How does that?
A joyride with a cop.
Yeah. Exactly. Does that sound like a good one?
Yeah.
Very good. And it's important that both you and your brother are there with your dad, and you're having fun, and the policeman puts on the siren, and that kind of thing.
And then that sounds good, because it could be like leading us to a really great trip around the world or something. Going to an airport, and we need the special police to go.
Perfect. Yes. Going away, or you're going to Disney World, or you're going away on holiday or something, and your dad's friend, the policeman, is going to take you there, and put your mum in the car as well.
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
you're all in the car, you all got the siren going, and you've got like a, what's it called? An escort to
Yeah.
the
Escort.
airport. I love
Like
that.
the Secret Service. Yeah.
That's right. And so maybe you're not even, you can do it where you're not in the car, but the police car is escorting you. Maybe you've got a couple of them escorting you to the airport so that you can get there quickly and smoothly. And sound good?
Good. Yeah.
Very
Very good.
Then
Yeah.
give that little Lisa something special, like a fluffy unicorn or something like that that she's taking on holiday with her. Does that sound
Okay.
good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, or balloons or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that piece done, and you may need to watch this recording to remember it, but you'll practice that, so that's established. And now let's look at, when you think of that incident, what's anything else there? Anything else that comes up, and it could just be a knowing or a feeling or something like that.
Well, I would hear my dad as a grown person say, "Oh yeah, you tried to kill your brother when you were little." I was like, "What?" I didn't try to do anything. Yeah, he would make little jabs about it, and I was like, "I didn't do anything." You know,
And
that was his own doing. He would. I don't think he was in the same room.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But your brother knew about the incident.
Yeah. I think because they would. I'm sure they said.
They would have, if he said it to you, he would have probably said it to your brother as well, your sister.
Yeah, but yeah, because he would show me the key scar when he was, not too much though, but it was just enough to.
But it's enough.
Yeah,
it's enough, because when you think about it, we as children, we're always trying to please those who are raising us because it's survival. So anything that implies that we've done something wrong or that we're not worthy is going to be huge. It's going to be a matter of survival rather than just, oh, I want them to like me. So that's why it's so strong. So now what we need is, so you've changed that original memory, right? So that the key thing didn't happen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now we want to change, of course, any memories of them saying you tried to.
Oh, yeah. So I said, you were so good to your brother. And
yes.
You treated him like gold.
You saved
him. I saved him. Yeah.
Right. So you saw the key and you saved it. And they can tell that story all your life, is that, he was so lucky you were there.
Yeah. That's good.
Only 6 years old, but you had maturity beyond your years. Right.
And then my brother,
he alive today.
And then my brother, he loved me so much and always cared for him, and we always got along very well. I have to just make a script and keep singing it. Yeah.
And have him say to you throughout your life, I'm so glad you were there. I wouldn't be alive today if you weren't there. And saying to other people. So you overhear him saying to people, I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for my sister.
Oh my God. I just thought of something. So, this is going to sound weird. I don't know if I could say this on camera or not, but I'll say it to you guys and then you could delete it. This came up just as you were speaking. Now, it really bothered me while we were talking on the phone, my brother and I. His wife tried to kill him 3 times. So that's juicy, right? Well, so I don't know if I could say that on camera, but I thought, well, while we were speaking about this incident, that came up, and I think that's so strange that it came up while you're speaking, but it's meant to be because, that energy moves. So
that's right.
I was so upset that somebody, and I called him out and I said, why did you, because my dad was, before he died, told him to, get rid of her because she was very, very destructive and she's alcoholic. And they live in a really nice house, but that doesn't even make any difference. But they were just in a really weird place. And so, she ran over him twice and then tried to kill him with a fire poker and stabbed him. And I'm like, oh my God. And my brother I said, I don't think it's okay while he's doing the escrow thing. I don't think it's okay that she tried to hurt you this bad. So to me, it was like, but so yeah, that came up.
So that
That's a really weird, huh?
Well, that makes perfect sense, because if he grew up with the norm, the status quo being somebody I love tried to kill me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I figured.
He'd be attracted to someone who's going to now do that dance with him.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought that would be like he really had that, and he was a baby. He was a year old. So yes. Wow, that's interesting.
And you can imagine the combination of the shock of the incident in the first place. So, the shock of it happening to him, and then it being reinforced that it was you who caused it, and intentionally. You can imagine the kind of programming that instilled from such a young age onwards. So that the intensity of that event will have, magnified the belief as a matter of survival. So it's normal for someone to kill me, to want to kill me, or to try to kill me.
Yeah.
More important. It's normal, and this is love. Makes sense.
And then she's also female, so
exactly.
Yeah. Yes. So wow,
exactly.
That's so interesting. I think I'm gonna do, for the extra stuff, like residue of it. I'm gonna do the faster EFT, because I feel like
absolutely.
So, and then just flip it all.
Yes, change it all, and in addition to that, be sure to start with, and let's do this now, that feeling of they think you tried to kill him. He thinks you tried to kill him. They think you tried to kill him. How does that feel? And allow that feeling to just be there without needing to push it away, without needing to reject it. Just sit with it and allow it to be, and allow it to spread out if it needs to, unrestricted. And that straight away starts to empower you, because it pulls you back from from being the feeling to observing it.
Yeah, because it's really odd to be, like almost like convicted of something you didn't do. I don't know how these people that are incarcerated that never did anything, and they're just like, oh my God, I'm in here for life, and I didn't do it. So that's how it kind of, as a little kid, and that happens,
And it goes beyond just the conscious understanding of this isn't fair and I didn't do this. This is subconscious, and it's a core piece of who I am and how the world works. So, and it's going to vary slightly with different people, but it's going to be incredibly powerful and foundational. So that's why, so the steps are, number one, allow it.
I'm writing this down.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Allow it. Okay.
Allow it. Just allow it to be there. Allow the situation to be exactly as it is. Allow the feelings to be exactly as they are. And that starts to pull you back to observer mode.
Okay, great.
And sit with that for a while, and for as long as it takes. And you may find that you start to automatically feel unconditional love for the feeling, the situation. You can use the I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I love you. You can use that little technique. And then once you feel, okay, that I've sat with that long enough, and you can do the thing that Steve says, ask the feeling, what do you need to say? What do you need? That kind of thing. Acknowledge it, find out what it needs. And then you could do that. You could do that exercise of allowing it then to go and live somewhere else, so that whenever it comes up, you remember, oh yeah, no, it's living under the tree in the garden, or it's living in the beachfront, or whatever.
Wow, that was very powerful. I hope that helps a lot of people.
I'm sure it will.
Except for, I don't know if you could put the killing in that part.
Well,
can you?
Yeah. I mean, what would be the reason not to?
Huh?
What would be the reason not to put it in?
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, you can use it. It's fine. They're not gonna see it.
Yeah, we can edit it out if you like, or we can put it so that we take your name out.
No, it's okay. It's fine. No, it's fine.
You just, but
yeah,
just that you know we can do that. But
yeah, okay.
yeah, if you need.
I didn't know if I could say something like that or not. But,
what would stop? What would be?
It's not a police matter, so I guess that would be the only thing. Like, yeah. So it's not a police matter, and
It's
he
not
chose to
investigate. It's not a current.
Right. No. Yeah, that's totally fine because he's allowing it, so it's.
Right. Okay.
So
and
it's
how
fine.
did you find out about that? Actually, just out of interest, how did you find out that she tried to kill him?
Both my dad and my stepmom told me repeatedly.
Right.
They had said because it bothered them so much.
Yes.
That he was still with her, and that it was her drinking was way out of control to the point where she was trying to hurt him really bad. So.
Okay.
So that's what was hurting my father before he died. It's like, I told him to, he wanted to let me know.
Yes.
Because he didn't think it was okay.
Right. Yeah.
And so that was it. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's not
so that's so doing that exercise with the feeling and the acknowledgement and the allowing. And then the next step will be to send love, first of all, to that whole situation and to everyone involved. And then you may need to change your parents and your child and your parents' childhoods if necessary, if you haven't already, or you may need to do a little bit more so that they would never have, accused you. I don't know if you've done that yet. So if necessary. And then, of course, that you were the one who saved him in whatever way. It doesn't have to be with the key, it could be with anything. And that you create brand new memories of them and him, saying he wouldn't still be alive if you hadn't saved him.
Okay, great. That's good. That's good. Oh my God, that was so powerful. That feeling left too. It's like, whew, like I said, it's like, wow, my body even feels different. Do I look different?
Yes, that's perfect. I'm so thrilled to hear that, Lisa. That's really thank you so much for bringing it up, because as you say, other people will need it. In fact, someone I think has put in the chat already that it will help them. So this is perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. That was good.
You are so very welcome. Thank you. All right. And Katrina. Hi, Katrina.
Hi, Odille.
Lovely to have you here.
Thank you. I just want to update you. So I was away for a week, yeah?
Yes.
And 3 different incidents, or 3, whatever, took place. And just giving praise to the work that that I have been doing with you. Was it the things were sort of, well, anyway, I'll tell you. One of them was, what was it? Why have I lost my pages? I'm going to blame Steve. Anyway, right. Went to see a brother, and just was totally unexpected. It was my favorite brother, but just by me giving my opinion and sticking to my opinion, and him going, just couldn't handle me being, having my voice, staying with it, not changing. He tried everything and nothing worked. And he even tried saying, it's no wonder. Remember, there was a brother that's not into me, or friends, or whatever. Yes. And he was saying, isn't it no wonder he doesn't like you? So that was when I left. But the next day he sent a text, and he was so very different. Good. As in, I didn't try to change him or try to whatever, but I wasn't accepting it. I just
you.
Was not good.
Perfect, Katrina. That it really is wonderful, because what you did was he was still playing the old program and trying to hit the ball to you, but you weren't hitting it back. And so eventually he realized that this is no longer the dance we're doing.
Well, I have to say now, I did do the dance I did do the dance, but I had my opinion and I wasn't for changing it. And he was
Okay.
doing his best to, you know,
So it was a
I'm not,
different dance. It was different steps.
yeah, yeah.
Which
But I
good.
thought
So
it really
that's smart.
good.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, so we roll up. Then the next one, we're out for a meal, and my best friend's husband tried to big time roller coaster over something that I had said or done. And I went, but I suppose with a little sip of water, as in wine, I was very empowered to stand up to this guy who I really sort of years gone by, I would have let him sort of, you know, pat me down type of thing. And we done the dance, but we cleared the air.
Good.
Everybody couldn't believe, oh my God, this is happening. But it was just brilliant in how it changed the whole relationship.
Good for you.
Yeah, well, because I was able to, I think he respected me for standing up to him.
Yes.
Which I never done before. I always,
Okay.
Lisa, as in, oh, no, I don't hate rows and hate arguments and da-da-da.
Yes.
And the third one was, remember the 52 cousins that I still have, but
52.
I was talking, I have 52 cousins.
Okay, I don't remember that. But
You don't
wow.
remember? I was compared, I was the stupid one. When we got 4 stupid ones.
Yes.
So these ones came from England, and she was in the mix in one of the nights we were out.
Yeah.
And I told her how I hated her coming around the place, and her mother, she leave how very haughty-taughty and very, very blowing up and degrees and da-da-da, whatever. And I then came along, and I'm not impressed. I'm not really impressed with the degrees. I'm not really. And it was just, I can't believe I'm talking to this girl like this. And I just felt the whole time I was away, I was thinking, wow, thumbs up or 1,000,000% to the Remward method.
Very good. Good job, Katrina. I am so proud of you. And I want to add, of course, what you want to get to is where you feel strong enough in yourself and confident enough in yourself that you don't even need to engage with people to engage with those people like that. But this is such a key part for you because you are doing the complete opposite to what you've done in the past. So it's a part of that process. So the reason I'm just mentioning that is for others, for other people who their issue is conflict. And they are, they're the other extreme where they are constantly fighting or arguing with people. Obviously, the reason it's good for you is because this is the opposite to what you have been, what you've been programmed with. So I am so proud of you and so excited for you for standing up for yourself. Good job. Yay. And how does it feel? How do you feel right now?
I just feel, yes, I just feel so good. So it's really so empowering to be me now.
Yes.
And it's not, I always was, it's like, oh my God, what do you think of me, Odille? And then if you thought something, it's like,
yeah.
I was sort of trampled down quite easily.
Yes.
Influenced by other people.
Yeah.
And what they thought of me. No, it's not important.
Yay!
Well,
I am so excited. That is fantastic. Good job. And what?
Just one more thing was I was thinking of Lisa and abundance and money. I give away a red purse to my daughter, and I also seen her during this week, and she says, "Mommy, I have a surprise for you," and in the past, remember, I always said, oh my God, no, I hate surprises. Please don't give me a surprise.
Yeah.
But so when she said, I have a surprise, I says, oh, I was going to say her name. Oh, I love surprises.
Yay.
And so she opened the purse and out came a £20 note, which was in the, so she gave me the £20 back.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I was thinking, is this a sign? The money from the boiler scam, all this money was flowing out. Was this a sign that my money,
Yes,
is flowing back?
Exactly. Because so something in you has opened now and is starting to allow flow back in rather than keeping it away and rejecting it, because it's always been there. For everyone, money is always there. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying that. Money and love and everything is always there. But it's whether we are allowing it in or whether we're rejecting it, not consciously, of course, but unconsciously. So well done. That is a beautiful sign on both counts. Number one, that you automatically, you said, I love surprises. So whatever that program was has changed, which is fantastic. And of course, loving surprises is part of allowing good into your life. And then, of course, the fact that the manifestation of that £20, the fact that it was yours, that you'd lost it effectively without even knowing it, that it's come back, and all of that is brilliant. Good job. Yay.
Okay.
And thank you so much for sharing all of that, Katrina, because it will help to encourage others as well.
Well, good.
Very good. Thank you. And on to Swasti. Hi, Swasti. How are you today?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Good.
I just had a question. Well, it kind of relates to what's happening today, what's been going on with everyone. But I found myself becoming more lazier when I have more time.
Yes.
And I can't, I know there's a massive turning point coming because I was changing the judgment and the pressure references. But I can't, whenever I try to, I'll start doing something else. I'll work on something else, but not that. And then I just get so annoyed during the day that I can't sit down and do it. This happens like at least once a week, where there's a big turning point, and then I stop. And I just feel so incapable compared to everybody here who's just constantly doing the work.
Okay, very good. Now I'm going to give you something that I don't know, have I shared Andrew Kirby with you already?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Think so. The dopamine detox, have I mentioned that?
Oh, I think I watched this by myself, but maybe.
Oh. So look up Andrew Kirby, Kirby, on YouTube. And he actually, I'll let you watch his videos because everything I've seen of his so far is excellent. And when you add it to what we do, it's fantastic. But the bit that I want to say that he talks about is using your time as a commodity, or viewing your time as a commodity, and always having more to do than you have time. And he explains it. In fact, that particular video, I think, is called The Graph That Changed My Life. Okay. Something like that. Let's see if I can find it. The graph. Andrew Kirby. Yeah, because he talks about supply and demand, and making sure that, because as you're, there we go, the graph, let's just see, as this graph changed my life is what the video is called. And he explains that when you have supply and demand of a commodity, as the supply goes down and or demand goes up, the value of the thing goes up. And then, of course, as supply, there's plenty of it, and or not many people want it, the value goes down. And what he's talking about is psychologically, your time is a commodity. The more you have of it, which means you've either got plenty of time or you've not got much to do, the less valuable it is subconsciously. So therefore you don't get on with stuff. The less time you have or the more you have to do, the more driven you are or the more motivated you are. Now this, and he does point out, of course there are exceptions, and those are the overworkers. So, you know, people who have a different program, which is overworking, this won't apply to them necessarily. But for those who procrastinate, what he suggests is making sure that you always have more on your list to do than you have time, because psychologically you'll be more likely to do stuff. So I'll let him go into more detail and explain the rest of it, but hopefully that helps to give an idea.
Yeah, definitely.
And he was saying that's why people leave things till the last minute with deadlines, because then it comes. And it's to do with the dopamine hit as well.
Okay. So it's called, oh, sorry.
Sorry, no. But when you accomplish something, especially when it's a difficult thing, and the more difficult the thing is that you accomplish, the bigger the hit of dopamine you get. So that's how it's working. The closer to the deadline you leave something, the bigger the hit of reward.
Oh, yeah.
Dopamine is a reward chemical.
Yeah.
So the better you feel because you've achieved something more difficult. The more time you have, the more relaxed something is. You're not getting that. You may feel calm and relaxed, but you're not getting that hit of dopamine, that reward chemical.
Okay, so it's like we leave things to last minute because we want that dopamine hit, because it's addicting. Yeah.
Yes, not intentionally, but unconsciously. And that's why people say, oh, I work best on under a deadline. They're getting that hit, so they're more likely to do that. It's the rat pressing the lever for the food, even though, right. So, or not for the food, rather for the drug, and starving and not drinking water and not eating because they're getting the hit of the dopamine.
Okay. I've watched that. So can I just confirm, is it called Andrew Kirby, The Graph That Changed My Life?
That's it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Andrew,
I'll put a link in the show notes of the video.
Oh, great. Well. It's so just thank you, Steve. And Swasti, just a correction. It's This Graph Changed My Life. That's the actual title. And then I highly recommend his channel and watching the rest of his videos. He is really, really good with a lot of really useful information there, especially around procrastination and stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. You're very, very welcome. And anything else that you wanted to address today, or?
No, I'm pretty good, thank you, apart from laziness.
All right. Well, that should solve that problem.
Thank
Very
you.
good, Swasti. You're very welcome, sweetheart. And Tina, yay! How lovely to see you.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm good. I'm very happy. I'm doing okay, I think. I'm still working on myself, changing memories.
Yes.
The only thing is my hours at work are shrinking. Like today I start 5 o'clock. I have only 2 clients.
Okay.
So I don't know, but.
And how do you feel about that?
I'm happy. I don't want to be at work all the time. The only thing is I don't make money now. So.
Yeah.
So the check is very, very shrinking. So
shrinking, yeah. So then those are 2 separate pieces there. So, you know, it's what we were saying before. We can't always see how something can happen. And so the first piece is that you are getting what you want, in that you aren't having to do what you don't want to do as much anymore, right? So if you take money out of the equation, let's say you were getting the same money, but you didn't have to do the work. That's what you would like?
I will love that.
There you go. So the first piece is congratulating yourself, and we congratulate you. And how fantastic and powerful is that you were able to do that? Right? That's so. That piece. So keep the money thing separate, because the money.
Yeah, I try
money
to
can
do
come in
that
all
because I'm really happy. Today is a little bit chilly. I can see I have a sweater, but it's such a beautiful fresh air. I love it. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I just enjoy. I'm staying here on the balcony. And I love it.
Perfect. And so do whatever it takes to stay in that state, to really appreciate and make the most of it, because that's what you want more of. Then the money is a separate thing. So then let's look at the money. Now, the money can come from anywhere. Money can come from completely unexpected, coming in completely unexpected ways. And I believe
Money comes from, I'm sorry, from where?
money can come in completely unexpected ways. Right? We can't see where it comes from. It can come from all kinds of places. Now, the only time that it can't is when we stop it, when we prevent it, because we're worried about, or because we're thinking, oh no, I can't let this job, because you may need to let that job go in order to be open to something else that's going to bring in money.
I thought so like that before too, and I had little problem with my boss.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you froze. I cannot hear you.
Oh, how about now? Can you hear? Maybe.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
All right. There may be an internet issue. So it's about allowing yourself to be open to receive money in whatever way it comes. So not restricting it, not judging, and all of that kind of thing. You keep your focus on enjoying and feeling the abundance. Now, if you can't do that, so let's say you get to a point where you think, yeah, but I am worried about the money, then allow that feeling and go, okay, so I'm worried about the money. How does that feel? And allow the feeling, do the exercise, the flipping the coin, or whatever we're going to call it, exercise of allowing it. And I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I love you, do all of that. And of course, changing any childhood memories that there may be that still have that feeling of whatever that is, worry or limitation or whatever.
Okay.
Because I suspect that you are going to end up bringing in an opportunity, or finding an opportunity, or an opportunity is going to find you for bringing in money that you don't know what it could be yet, but that you love, that you're going to wake up in the morning, can't wait to do whatever it is.
Okay, sounds great.
Good job. I'm so proud of you, Tina. Very, very good. Yay for you. And I'm excited for you because I know that feeling of, doing something that you don't enjoy, and then, not having to do it. It's just such a lovely feeling. I know that feeling well. So good job.
I mean, I love my job, but it's really hard. So I'm exhausted after work. So when I have a day like that, I really enjoy it. I'm happy.
That's it. Very good. And so even if you continue doing the same thing, but just in a much reduced way, only as much as it feels nice to do, and then the rest of the money is coming from somewhere else that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Good.
Sounds great.
Yay. All right. And so keep practicing the techniques that you've learned from us, and you rewatch videos if necessary to remind yourself, especially if you start finding yourself doubting anything, rewatch some videos and I'm saying that for others as well. So
yes, I just I learned so much from Steve, from the sessions with him. So now, like yesterday, I had some issues with something. Yeah. And I was thinking, how I'm going to fix that? Because I knew the memory, I found it, but I said, how I'm going to fix that? But whatever I was doing, whatever Steve taught me, and this morning I did it, and feels good, and I have new memory with my mom, and it's amazing. I love it. So.
Yay! Fantastic. That is wonderful. And so, yes, for others as well, what Tina's referring to is her one-to-one sessions with Steve. So if anybody would like to find out about that, you can book a free consultation call with Steve, and we'll put the link in the description of the video to do that, to find out if it's for you. All right, good job, Tina. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's wonderful to hear.
Thank you.
All right, and I see there's some stuff in the chat. Steve, are you?
Yeah, The work that you did with Lisa, I think kind of resonated with several people, but question, could you please advise me on a stepping stone? I came again into a situation last weekend where somebody borrowed some money from me, saying he will reimburse me the same day, and he didn't do it without any explanation. I'm unable to ask for the money even though I need that money. It's a recurrent pattern for me. I'm afraid to be seen as greedy if I ask for the money back, and I don't get the money back. I worked on this morning, and I came, of course, to something not related to money, but me being jealous at birth of my sister and not being allowed to ask for attention.
Oh.
I tried to make a stepping stone with my mom caring only about me, but I feel guilty regarding my sister who I love. I'm trying to jump to the situation where I have no brothers and sisters, but it's difficult.
All right, good one. Thank you for sharing that. Fantastic. All right. So let's unpack that. Do you mind if I unmute you, or shall we do it? Because I can do it without, but I can help you probably better if I can unmute you and ask you some questions. So just let me know if that's all right, or otherwise I can just do it. So I'll start doing it without unmuting you. And if you're okay to be unmuted, you can unmute yourself, or just let me know in the chat. All right, so let's have a look at this. So the money thing, so well done, first of all, for tracing it back to the birth of your sister. And what I would say, the stepping stone, so you said I tried to make a stepping stone with my mum caring only about me. Oh, I can unmute you. Great. Okay, lovely. So there we go. If you just accept that unmute. Yay. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, sweetheart. Okay, so let's look at this. What I want to ask, first of all, I just want to retrace these steps a little bit just to be very thorough. So when you think of asking for the money back and you're afraid to be seen as greedy and you don't get the money back, what is that feeling there if you were to give it a name?
I'm anxious.
Anxious. Very good. And so the anxiousness is that when you think of the anxiousness, what thoughts are there that are related to that anxiousness? What are you worried about?
Anxious about being rejected.
Rejected. Very good.
It's not okay to ask for money.
Yes, perfect. And so I think you're right. I mean, going back to not being allowed to ask for attention. So what stands out, a memory that stands out that can represent all of them of you? In other words, how do you know you weren't allowed to ask for attention?
Oh, I can't relate to a specific memory. Okay. I tried to do the exercise of Steve with the feeling of being anxious, yeah. And there was a very angry feeling, saying once again the person asking for attention will be taken care of, and I won't be taken care of.
Perfect. Okay. So here's what I recommend is a due justice letter.
Mm-hmm.
Due justice to your mum, your dad, whoever it was. Do them first. Do the parents first, and then I would add a due justice letter to your sister. And I know you love your sister, and there's the guilt thing there. But remember that the little you doesn't have the ability to understand. So how old were you when your sister was born?
I was 2.
Oh, yeah. So before you could even speak properly. So you wouldn't have been able to express anything, basically. So there will be a lot there. So I would say right from that 2-year-old's perspective.
Okay.
Okay, so because that little 2-year-old, bless your heart, of course you love your sister, but this is about survival. Okay, so what would have happened is automatically when a new child comes along, there's without the conscious mind being involved, there's the instinct of survival. and another child means I might die. Right? So again, not consciously, but unconsciously. So I would say definitely due justice to your parents first, and perhaps specifically your mum. You may want to do separate ones if it was mainly your mum, and then and get it all out. So for those who are new, we'll put a link to the due justice information. It's important to read that and follow those instructions, because there are very specific reasons it works, and how, you know, there can be a difference between whether it works or not if you follow those instructions. So due justice to your mum and possibly your dad as well, and then a due justice to your sister, again from that 2-year-old's point of view.
Yeah, thank you, because I did several due justice letters to my parents, but I never thought about doing one to my for my sister.
For your sister, very good. And so, and also when you do it to your parents, it needs to be specifically about not being allowed to ask for attention. Okay, so make sure you include that. Like, you know, how dare you, I'm a child, you're supposed to give me attention. That's what, you know, parents are supposed to do. And even, you can even go, how dare you have another child? Why would you need another child when you've got me? Whatever, you'll be unreasonable, whatever's in there. So it needs to not be reasonable, not be justifying, not be forgiving, because that's the purpose of this, is to get all of that out.
Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. And then once you've done that, then to answer your question about the stepping stone would be, yes, I would have, so your sister is there, and then there's a nanny. And the nanny looks after your sister so that your mum can give you full attention.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll do that.
Very good. So that's the stepping stone. And then, of course, the final memory is that you're an only child.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And also I want to add, once you've done all of that, then come back to the situation with your brother and the money and just check it. So once you've changed all of that, then you can think about your brother and the money and notice if there's anything left there, and then change that. And what you're aiming for, of course, final result is that you're able to just calmly and strategically ask for the money that's owed to you without any emotions.
I do that. Thanks a lot.
All right. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
And we have one more. Sometimes I feel that everybody is making improvements except me. I'm not exactly sure the meaning in life. I'm assuming it could be a typo. I know that this is not true, but that's what I feel. Where would this come from? Oh, yeah, I see the typo was life. And I feel fear of being left out.
Okay, perfect. Okay, very good. So good job. And again, let me know if I can unmute you. I don't need to use your name, but or otherwise I'll start answering it without unmuting you. And if you would like, if you're happy for me to unmute you, you can either unmute yourself or let me know. All right. So everybody making improvements. Have bad connection, but we can try. Okay. So, so let me ask, first of all, how do you know that you're not making improvements?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I know that I'm making improvement, but it's more the feeling.
Right, okay. And so that feeling of everybody's doing this or getting this except me, where in your childhood did you feel that same feeling? And it could be nothing to do with improvements.
I think that it's because my mom was so perfect in everything, so I feel that.
Okay, so it's comparing to your mum, you mean?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Very good. And did you have any siblings?
No.
Okay, so it's comparing to your mum. And then how do you know that your mum was perfect in everything and that you're not?
She wasn't perfect, but she was very narcissistic, and she wanted all the attention.
Yeah.
And she liked to she didn't like me getting the attention because she want all the attention for her.
That'll do it. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so the answer is number one, definitely a due justice letter to your mum. Have you done one yet or not yet?
Yes, I made a lot of them.
You made a lot of them. Okay, good, good, good. So that's good. And then have you changed your mum's childhood yet?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So what's there now when you think of your mum as a child, first of all?
I tried to make her childhood like it was easy for her to get attention,
Good.
and she was very loved, and she was always heard. That's
Good.
it.
Very good. All right. So now, as your mum as an adult, as your mum, what's there when you think of your childhood with your mum now?
There was very good things, but I have a lot of trauma from my childhood because of my mom.
Yes. Okay. And so when you think of that trauma, is it specific memories that come to mind, or is it an overall thing, an overall knowing?
It's a general knowing, but I've changed a lot of specific memories, and the thing is that all my memories are pretty much the same because it always was the same situation. So I changed, but I feel that I have to change even more.
Okay, good. So yes, and what I would suggest is create new memories as well of your mum being focused on you and allowing you to get attention and focus from everyone else as well. So you know, you can change the bad memories in that, but also create brand new memories to support that.
Okay, okay.
And in addition to that, add in memories of you in school, winning prizes, and you're on the stage and everybody's clapping for you, and that kind of thing. You are the star of the school, the star of the classroom. See your teacher giving you your tests back with 100% and stars, and all the other kids going, "Oh, you're so lucky. I wish I could do that. I wish I could be as clever as you are," and all of that. Does that sound good?
Yes, I've done a lot of that, but I think I need more.
Yes. Okay, very good. And then in addition to that, you can do that technique of allowing. So like you say, that that feeling of everybody else is making improvements in life except me, allow that feeling to be there. And what is you know, what if you were to just allow it and allow it to spread out and just be what it is? Just notice it. How do I know this feeling? And so that again pulls you back to an observer point of view. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Good. And then you can, when you watch this recording, go to the bit where I was talking about it with, who was I talking about it with the two sides of the coin. So wherever that was, Steve will put it in the show notes. That two sides of the coin thing. Just follow along with that for aiming at your particular situation as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Odille.
You're very, very welcome, sweetheart. Good job, you. All right. And so was that it, Steve? Okay. If you could send me the targets, please. And we're running a little bit late, but I think it was important stuff. So take a deep breath and either close your eyes or leave them open, whichever you prefer. And go into your superpower state, however you normally do that. So by focusing on your subject or by using your word or phrase or your anchor, and start to feel your heart opening, that expansion feeling in your chest, allowing that light or energy to shine out from you. Very good. And now allow that light or energy to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that love. Good job. Now allow that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each little cell just for existing. Very, very good. And now allow that light or energy to fill your subject. Love your subject just for existing. And then imagine that your subject doesn't want to be with you or doesn't have the qualities that you love and appreciate about them, and keep them filled with that light, that energy, that love anyway. Love them anyway. Very, very good. And let's go to Lisa. Fill Lisa with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Lisa just for existing. Very good. And allow that light, that energy to overflow from Lisa and fill the part of her that was feeling unjustly accused and not worthy and whatever's there. And then allow that light, that energy to overflow from Lisa and fill her brother from the tips of his toes to the top of his head and out to his fingertips. Love Lisa's brother just for existing exactly as he is. And no matter what his behavior is, keep him filled with that light, that energy, shining that light into any darkness. And then allow that light, that energy to fill Lisa's brother's wife with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Lisa's brother's wife just for existing, no matter what she does. Shining that light into any darkness, loving it all exactly as it is. Very, very good. Good job. And now over to Tina. Fill Tina with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Tina just for existing. Very good. And love Tina's money and her job, the finances, whatever happens. All of the results, whether it's good or bad, even if it's not the result she wants, love it all exactly as it is, shining that light into whatever may happen. Very, very good. And now to Swasti. Fill Swasti with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Swasti just for existing. And allow that light, that energy to overflow from Swasti and fill her parents. From the tips of their toes to the tops of their heads and out to their fingertips. Love Swasti's parents just for existing. And no matter how they react to her future plans of neuroscience. However they react, even if they react badly, love them exactly as they are. Keep them filled with that light, shining that light into any darkness. Loving it all exactly as it is. Very good. And now to Katrina. Fill Katrina with that light, that energy, that love. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Katrina just for existing. And now to Sylvie. Fill Sylvie with that same light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Sylvie just for existing. Very good. And allow that light, that energy to overflow from Sylvie and fill her daughter, Mayella, who has fibromyalgia and is suffering a lot. Fill her with that same light, that energy, that love, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Mayella just for existing, even if she suffers a lot. Love the fibromyalgia and all the symptoms of it. Love Mayella's body and every cell just for existing, no matter what. Very good. And now to everyone who's off camera today and everyone watching the recording, love each one just for existing, no matter what. And allow that light, that energy to overflow from each person and fill everything in their lives. Every person, every event, every circumstance, every experience, shining that light into any darkness, loving it all exactly as it is and without needing it to change. And then yourself later today, fill that version of you with that same light, that energy, that love, loving you exactly as you are and no matter what. Feeling the power of that, shining that light into any darkness. Feeling that power. You have everything you need. Good job. And allowing yourself to open up to receive the love and the light and the energy from everyone else. Filling you up and loving you no matter what. And surge. Very good. And surge again. Good job. All right, you can open your eyes if you haven't closed. Well done, everyone. Yes, as Steve says, a lot of good stuff here today, and I agree. I think this is going to be very, very helpful for a lot of people. Swasti says, thank you, Odille and Steve. Thank you, everyone. I feel more energized now, and I'm excited to put the teachings into practice. Good job. And Lisa, thanks a million. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, all of you. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the wand waving as well. And lots of love to all of you. We'll see you back again this time, same place tomorrow. Keep practicing, keep loving yourself. You know, practice filling your cells with that love if you do nothing else. All right, lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye now.